Hello and welcome. Understanding and navigating the needs and requirements of the US Food and Drugs Administration can be quite a challenge for Indian companies, as we found out recently. Well, helping such companies find their way through their problems is Dr. Kavita Mehrotra, Global Strategic Alliances Head, Life and Health of UL Engineering. Kavita, thank you very much for speaking with us. So,
thank you for having me.
Your company works on creating courses and structured courses to help companies work with FDA and understand how to, I guess, improve their processes and their systems.
I think that's a beautiful premise to open our conversation on. Our company's mission is working for a safer world. And I'm a part of UL Engineering, which is a marriage of two words, education and engineering. So we have a cloud-based learning management system, which is a fully validated CFR 11 Chapter 21 compliance system, an FDA requirement. In association with that, we have the privilege of working with the US FDA for about 15 years and counting now. We have a CRADA agreement with them, which is Corporate Research and Development Agreement, under which we co-develop content particularly pertaining to good manufacturing practices. And over the last decade, we have trained about 30,000 US inspectors globally. So our mission here is to be able to bring the same content to the pharmaceutical company and medical device companies so that there is a shared understanding of what good manufacturing practices is. So our system is multilingual. It's available in 34 languages, so it's agile enough and scalable enough to serve the largest companies. We actually work with top 10 pharmas of the world and with smaller startups as well.
So you're based in Princeton, New Jersey, and you're of course working with Indian companies. What is the biggest challenge you feel Indian companies face when it comes to complying with FDA, US FDA?
You know, I think that the compliance issues that we are hearing a lot about in the news in India are not unique to India. In fact, at the end of last year, we done a benchmark study, and we were discussing what are the top challenges the industry in general faces. And one of the things that came to light is that the absence of good documentation is by far the biggest challenge that our industry is facing forever. So we aim at first identifying those challenges within this worldview and then finding solutions for that. Another issue that came to light is...
So when you say absence of documentation, you mean deliberate absence of documentation or the lack of experience to put it together?
Thank you for that clarification. What I mean was in the event of an audit, for instance, the assumption is if it's not written down, it didn't happen.
Okay.
So how do we carry a record of the training that has been offered? How do we make sure that the training records are genuine, they are protected technically? So CFR 11 Chapter 21 compliance will do that for you. That's one issue. The other is the proper SOP, right training to the right people at the right time. That's another challenge. So once you've been able to identify that, the third thing we also found was that visibility of the metrics of completions and courses, etc., is a very key driver for changing a culture, a performance culture. So based upon that, I think these are some of the challenges that we as an industry are facing. I don't think the challenges are unique to India. We just happen to be discussing India.
I mean, there have been some fairly public instances of Indian companies not complying with FDA and then FDA cracking down on Indian drug exporters and so on, drug manufacturers and exporters.
Right.
So do you see any common thread in that, or is that something, as you say, something that's happening in many countries at the same time?
I think, look, in the month of August, I was in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, and we met with, we were working in collaboration with AdvaMed, which is world's leading trade association in the medical devices arena. And I was in charge of the pharma sector, and we were discussing anti-bribery and anti-corruption issues with Malaysia Anti-Corruption Academy. And one of the things that came out of those breakout sessions, etc., is that the largest need right now in the industry is that of awareness and a shared understanding of the term of bribery and compliance and training. So what I like to believe, Govind, is that what we are witnessing right now is a function of a need for a common understanding. I don't think that there is something very conniving about the moment, as a matter of fact, but I like to look at it as a moment of great opportunity, because I believe it.
You're saying people would take it more seriously if they knew it was serious?
Yes, and they knew what to take seriously. So our responsibility as thought leaders in the industry is to be able to give them tools that enable them to be able to teach their audience affordably, responsibly, and they're feasible. So that is why I'm a very big proponent of a blended approach to learning, a combination of online training, and webinars, instructor-led when applicable, as a continuum, as a continuous process. So you train, you assess, you survey, so that you're constantly aware of the changing needs of the market.
Right. So, I mean, two people need to buy into this. One is top management of any pharmaceutical manufacturer, and the other are the people who are actually on the shop floor.
Absolutely.
So, how are you seeing that in a country like India? Do you see uniform acceptance at the top level and therefore the flow down? Or?
I mean, this visit is the formal announcement of our expansion of this effort. So I'm here to meet the leaders in the industry. It has been very, very productive so far, Govind. Truthfully, everybody's been very forthcoming. People haven't minced words about what they need to do. I think I like to believe that we are all partners in this process. Either we swim together or we sink together. I think one of the themes that I'm learning is that people are more open to the idea of enhanced standardizations of processes. So I am very optimistic about it, because I'm a firm believer, Govind, that in moments of vulnerability, our finest possibilities of success lie, because they bring us face to face with issues that we may have put on the back burner earlier.
Okay. So can you give me an example on the shop floor what this would mean?
And by that do you mean the C-suite executives? I think, I have been reached out to by many leaders in the pharma sector, some medical device. We've met with heads of organizations that are trade or advocacy based, and they all seem eager to explore what are the possibilities of having a global level training open to all in an affordable manner. So their level of interest, their familiarity with the pulse of the market gives me every confidence that we will have the support of the leadership, because ultimately, culture of an organization is dictated by who's at the top. And I think when you walk the talk, people listen more, because you almost symbolize the spirit of your company.
Right.
I have a great feeling about that.
So you're saying from your conversations, you're getting a sense that more and more companies are very keen to get their house in order if it wasn't.
No question about that.
And comply so as to be seen as compliant by US FDA, in any case, which is the largest market from an Indian import point of view.
Absolutely. And I am noticing a need for metrics. And that actually, and you'll find this interesting. So in June, FDA has announced that companies who have observed good, robust quality practices, like having metrics to protect their companies, will have a much lesser possibility of on-site FDA visits. So it almost encourages the community. This is in the FDA website and IPQ and other journals as well. So that enables me to believe that yes, there is interest in India, and I find that very engaging and very encouraging.
Right, that's a good note to end on. Thank you very much for speaking with us, Dr. Mehrotra.